Why are hate crimes happening? I certainly can't tell you exactly why. I do, however, have delusional opinions I'd like to share with you. And why do I want to share my delusional opinions with you on why hate crimes are happening? You might be thinking, oh, JP, sounds like you're going off the deep end, buddy. Let's just agree I probably already have. But why I'm here to talk with you about this today is there's a lot of just disgusting hate crimes, actually. In my opinion, I'll be judgmental. They're disgusting. Hate crimes happening where I live. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. A couple weeks ago, a white supremacist guy went into a black church. I don't know if that's politically correct, but a black church, and killed 9 black people. And then there's been a handful of dominantly black churches burned down since then. And honestly, I'm angry, I'm disgusted, it just, there's a gut-wrenching disgust I feel about this. And I'm okay being angry about it. And I invite you, if you're angry about hate crimes, whether they're the ones happening in Charleston or elsewhere, I'd invite you to be angry about it. Not to hate the haters, not to hate the criminals, not to sort of stoop to their level, but be angry about it with understanding. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But first, a delusional opinion on why hate crimes happen. I believe the person, I'll use this white supremacist guy from Charleston as the example. I would guess the reason why he acted out these despicable murders was he was projecting his shadow onto the people he killed. And what he was actually trying to do was kill his shadow. Literally speaking, he obviously killed other people, beyond a tragedy. So if that's half true, what the hell is a shadow? We all have a shadow self, in my opinion. I define our shadow self to be the things that we feel most threatened by about ourselves. And therefore, we tend to keep them unconscious. Hell, because they're threatening. Who wants to sit there and experience the terror of always being aware of what we're most threatened by about ourselves? So our shadow, those things that we're most threatened by about ourselves, we fear the most, we tend to suppress, repress, keep it in our unconscious. Therefore, another characteristic of our shadow self is those things that we're not aware of about ourselves. So, if we're not aware of about our shadow characteristics about ourselves, then we naturally project it onto other people to give us the illusion that it's not me. The more I can project my shadow onto you, I get to believe it's about you, which gives me a sense of relief. It's not about me. It's you. So, with this hate criminal, I would actually say his shadow is those things that he hates most about himself. And I would guess he's in an incredible amount of fear about things about himself. You could ask him, dear whatever his name is, what do you hate most about black people? And he'd give you his white supremacist answer. But I think if we listen with a conscious ear, what he's really telling us about is what he hates most about himself. He might talk about the black race it's an inferior thing, it's flawed. They're flawed people. I think what he would really then be saying is, I feel incredibly flawed about myself, and that's too damn much for me to handle. So I have to project it onto other people because I'm not strong enough. I don't have the capabilities to feel how damn flawed and defective I feel as a human being. So in order to escape that challenge that I can't handle, I have to believe that how I feel about me is actually how I feel about this whole group of people. Anyone who's not white, they're flawed and defective. is maybe what this white supremacist would say if we could kind of actually get into his unconscious heart. So when the hate criminal projects their shadow onto someone else, projected onto the other, the more different, if that's proper English, the more different the other person is, the more the hater's mind can believe it's not about me. Because look, they're black and I'm white. So of course it's about them. Look how much more different than me they are. So in other words, hate crimes are typically acted out against people that are dramatically different than the hate criminal, at least at the literal level, because it allows the hater an easier time to create a story that says, what I hate about you is actually about you, because look how different you are than me. Carl Jung once said, all wars would stop if everybody learned to own their shadow. Then, a next step of understanding, kind of moving beyond the criminal, in this case a white supremacist guy, is likely projecting his shadow onto other people. He thinks he hates black people. I would guess he dramatically hates himself. In black people, that's the movie screen that he projects the movie of his own self onto. Then the crime. The crime is the ultimate act of illusion. Here he killed people. Psychologically, what I would guess that means inside of his psyche is a phenomenon that says, okay, if my shadow's projected onto black people and I kill those black people, then I get to live the ultimate illusion that says I've killed my shadow. I get to actually sell myself a story that says I've killed what I hate most about myself. I've killed my shadow. And I can convince myself of it because I've created dead bodies. It certainly doesn't mean this young man has killed his shadow. I think it means he's given himself the opportunity to live the illusion for a while that he's created the ultimate sense of control and domination over what he hates most about himself. Doesn't mean his shadow's actually gone. A more conscious way, more loving way, it's not hard to get more loving than killing people, so an easy step in the right direction is for us to own our shadows. When we take a look at what we don't like about other people, ask ourselves, if my relative mind can only experience myself relative to other people, in other words, all I can do is experience myself and project that onto other people. So what I love about them or what I hate about them is truly a story about myself projected onto them. So if we can learn to ask ourselves, what we don't like about other people, what does that say about me? Truly, what is that saying about me? If everything I like and hate about other people is 100% a story about me, can we learn to own our shadows and accept it? Hate crimes are an ultimate resistance to our shadows. It's, in other words, the most fearful human being relating to their shadow, which in other words is them running shit scared from their shadow, without the vulnerability and the courage from their heart to actually face their shadow, face what it is that threatens them most about themselves, taking a look at, how do I feel flawed and defective as a human being? I'm going to look at that and actually feel it so I can process it, rather than running from my shadow acted out through the illusion of control of killing other people in this hate crime. Yikes. So as you can tell, I am pretty pissed off. Absolutely. And I'm not out to change that anytime soon. But what I will add to the mix is you and I seek some considerations here on understanding hate crimes is understanding the hater. So, understanding the hater, in this case the white supremacist guy. We can hate the hater if we want, and that means we're just like him. No, we're not acting it out through heinous literal crimes, and thank God you're not. It's much better to just hate someone. In other words, hate yourself projected onto someone than to go try and kill your shadow by killing them. So, hate the hater, or I would invite you to do your best to have the heart of compassion, of understanding the hater. Be angry, if that's appropriate. And in my opinion, it's incredibly appropriate for a while. In fact, I think it's pretty unhealthy for a person to not get angry when unspeakable violence is going on around them. So we can be angry as hell at someone and absolutely hold them accountable for their acts, while also having the heart of compassion that understands them. It perhaps saves us from becoming just like them. In other words, when we say, I hate the hater, what if we ourselves are projecting ourselves onto them? I hate how I hate myself, and I got to project that onto him, because I can't own that. That's my shadow. Let me own that so that I can go beyond it and begin to have some understanding for these people. Understanding this person is probably a very, very wounded person deep inside. Again, doesn't excuse him from his actions, but it helps us have the heart of compassion. And I would dare say the most wounded person in the Charleston Massacre is the white guy holding the gun. He's still alive, but I think he is truly the most wounded person, the most tormented victim of all this. And truly, it's at the hands of his own self. And I think his torment, I don't think it has much to do with his guilt or remorse. I don't know if he has any. But I think his torment has to do with the actual wounding inside of him that caused him to act out these despicable, violent acts. So, just like the most vicious wolf in the wild is always the most scared wolf, it's always the most traumatized wolf, so it is with hate crimes. The one acting it out, I think, actually needs more love, understanding, and compassion than the true victims do. And in my opinion, it is a hell of a challenge to even begin having a sense of understanding and compassion for someone we're so angry at. I think we're mostly conditioned to say, if I'm angry at someone, it means I hate them. No, not at all. I mean, that's one-dimensional conditioning, but we can go beyond that. We can be angry as hell at someone and understand them and have compassion for them at the same time. So with that said, I appreciate you being with me for this video and, letting me be pissed off. Because I am. And I hope something I've said has sparked some seed of thought in you and helping you understand hate crimes that happen. Not only understanding why they happen, but creating a better understanding for the most wounded person at the heart of all hate crimes, which is the criminal. With that said, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most of my videos are a little more lighthearted than this. But with that said, I'll look forward to talking with you next time.